My name is Mike Asukwo. I signed my work as Asukwo EB. The E and B stand for it and passive. I choose Mike because that's my Christian name. And I'm an artist. I'm a trained sculptor. As I studied at Yaba College of Technology, where I majored in sculpture. And I've done a couple of things after that. But right now, I'm dealing with business day media for quite a while now, about 15 years as a cartoon editor. And right now, I'm the head of the graphics desk at Business Day. Yeah, I think I've always prepared for this. I studied fine arts and I was born an artist. So that automatically means that I can draw, I can paint. So, and one of the basic requirements for a cartoonist is the ability to draw. You may not even have to draw very well. And so I can draw. And then I also discovered that whenever I produce my works, I try to imbue messages, into my works, even my sculpture, my paintings. I want them to speak to situations. I want them to speak to conditions really of the common man. And so, but then for sculpture, for paintings, these things, are the messages are just part of what you do, what the element you put together to produce these works, the colors, the composition, and all that. And then in most cases, you need to explain yourself. You need to explain what these colors stand for, why you choose the imagery you choose. And at the end of the day, also, this work can be exhibited and then bought and taken out of the gallery or out of their studio. And then as we go on, as the provenance changes, the stories behind the work themselves change. So, and then most time the messages that you work so much to introduce into the work, got lost. And then I came across cartooning actually by, of course, as an artist, I illustrate also, and so I was asked to do this illustration for a digital magazine back then when internet was just coming. A lot of people did not understand much about the internet, and so we did this particular magazine that was online, and then someone just got interested in it. And one of the guys that were working with us on that project, later became an editor at Business Day. And there was an opening at Business Day, and I was asked to come in. For me, then it was just, okay, let me just go and see what I can do. And then leave them and then come and face my business. But I got in there, and I discovered that, in the media house, the arts get to meet journalism, and it was not easy to pass messages, that stick. Even when you're not there, the works can speak for you, can speak for itself. And so that's when I started, discovering, this is actually a very good medium to say this I want to say about condition of things, about people, about governance. So that is how I got stuck. Yeah, it's a good thing to know that many people come in contact with my work before they come in contact with me. Of course, like I said, life is short, but art is long. And so the art is out there talking for itself, and I will not want to always be interrupting when my work is speaking for me. So I like it that when people meet my work first. Of course, that will always be the lot of artists, around the world. We talk about Picasso today. None of us here alive has ever met him, and so it will always be like that. The work will always be out there speaking for you, and the best thing you can do is not to interrupt when he's talking. So I've learned that over the years. And growing up, you always take time to, I think it was actually from trying to ridicule each other that, we started making those sketches, So you want to draw one, you want to abuse somebody, it's easier to just draw the person, so that everybody just laugh. You just laugh at the person. But I think my first canvas was the dusty ground of my village playground. I think that was when I started, making my very first basic sketches, and of course, it went on to notebooks, even the lined ones, and then of course we had access to drawing materials, and basically drawing books and pencil, and then funny enough, when I was growing, a lot of young people, like my mates, were more interested in drawing cartoon characters, but I was more interested in drawing faces, faces of my friends around me. Okay, so I was more interested in drawing faces, and I was also attracted to anybody that could draw. If I just see with pencil and could draw, you are my friend automatically. There was a guy that was a tenant in my father's house, and he used to was a signwriter. Those kind of signwriter that they do everything. They always have paintings of governors and head of states there. And so it inspired me. I like watching them work, and so I started getting so much into drawing on my own. So, and of course, my very first set of paints were my sister's makeup kit. so, so I tried to, whenever they're not around, I will use a makeup kit to finish my paintings. And then, of course, I get rebuked at the same time too. We get praises, so like, at least this is fine. So my models then were just my sisters, my parents. I tried to draw everybody. And the thing was that they didn't like it. So it was, out all over the place where you see my drawings, other paintings, pasted here and there. So I think it was the kind of love I had from my parents, from the family that actually got me hooked on it. They didn't even know where it was going to be. A lot of people thought I was going to be an engineer because I like tinkering with things in the house, I like playing with, trying to fix things. Because of fixing it, you get spoiled more. But I was always trying to fix things and getting them spoiled more, and I like the process of putting them back. So everybody thought I was going to be an engineer. I don't know, so this boy will be an engineer. Look at what he's doing with this. And so they don't know that it was the art in me that was expressing itself. So I could say that was how it began. Yeah, like I said, I do not. In fact, let me say that if I had ambition at that time, it was to become a movie producer. I didn't even know there was something, something that one could do with the ability to draw. But I love movies a lot, and I was more interested in seeing how movies were made and all that. So I had no idea that one day I'll be known for, or one day I'll become like Asukwo. I think this is what people take for granted a lot, accuracy, the sacredness of facts and all that. I would say that maybe without being in the newsroom, I would not even have known how important that was. So working in the newsroom, working with editors, working with veteran in the media, actually taught me that. Because initially I was just making people laugh. My idea was, okay, let me just make people laugh, and then started attending editorial meetings. Started having editorial briefings, and even some trainings in the office, and then I started getting more and more involved in the process of creating news, even as a cartoonist. My role now got better defined, as a cartoon journalist, and then I discovered that cartoon also, I could use cartoon to break the news, I could use cartoon to analyze, I could use cartoon to interpret, I could use cartoon to report, So all these have to be based on facts, So my cartoons, I try to ensure that I don't pander to sensationalism. I make a lot of research before. In fact, I take more time, planning my cartoon than the time, it needs to even do it, because I need to work well. I need to be sure of what the news I'm basing my cartoons on Because I think something happened the other time, that was under Jonathan, when I did a cartoon about the Minister for Sport, and it was based on a report I saw. I don't know if it was actually a fake report. So, and the minister called me himself and complained. And he said, look, I'm here anytime you hear anything story about me, call me first. I'm not something from doing a cartoon. It was a good cartoon, but it was what we based it on was a lie. So that also really helped me. So it made me going forward to be very, very. If I'm not sure, I will drop it. If I'm not sure of it, I will drop it. And that has been it has been my guide since. Truth has always been a kind of defense for me. Because once I know that whatever I push out there is the truth, I don't have any problem however I feel about it. The cartoon has so many elements. Of course, there is the element of symbolism, and also exaggeration and incorporation itself. So you need to know, for whatever you want to do, you have to ask yourself, one, the message I want to pass, which is very, very important. What do I want to say? Now, how do I want to say it? So that would take me to, thinking about the imagery. What is the best way to say what I want to say? And so, that part is actually very interesting, because that is part that will lead me on a stretch of imagination. So, and I'm at liberty to choose whatever imagery I can choose to say what I want to say. And then there is element of humor, which is also very, very important, because it's a cartoon. Even though in Nigeria right now, I must say that it's getting tougher making people laugh, because things are so hard that when they make some humor out of something, they will call it the gallows humor. Say, why are you trying to make fun of this? But then that is a sense of cartoon. The idea is to pass this message, with some level of humor. So then it is in creating that, trying to create that humor, that will now lead me to, okay, in the course of saying this, how we're going to take it, it's like you are trying to get someone to swallow the bitter pill, and one of the best way to do that is to coat it with maybe honey. Okay, so that is what the work that humor does there. So, and that is when you will now, try to think out with imagery to generate that laughter you want, even as people are reading about these things that affect them. It could just even be a life and death situation. Okay, let me take for instance a cartoon that was published yesterday, and a lot of people are talking about just one element in that cartoon. Yes, because after reading the whole thing, it's a sad situation, but then one thing that makes people laugh, and I did that deliberately because I know that it was a solemn thing, and I can't just let people just, after reading that cartoon, I can't spoil their day for them. So I have to introduce something that at least make you so, oh, okay, let's laugh about this. So that is always the idea. So that is the how to cover that bitter pill. It's very normal when you're talking about objectivity. Objectivity, it's a hard thing, because once you pick a topic, you're already biased. Yes, once you just decide on the topic, you're already, because if you want to talk about, let's say, terrorism, for instance, if you take the position of government, would the terrorists not see you as biased? So once you take a position, you're already, so I don't worry about that, because I started out under Jonathan, I was seen as an opposition. Under Buhari, I was seen as a PDP political cartoonist. Under Tinubu now, I'm seen as a PDP cartoonist. So no matter how, me, I stand by the truth. I stand by the people. So I don't care how you feel about what I'm saying. So far I'm saying the truth. So far I'm saying what people are feeling. So I don't want to, in order to try to strike a balance, I dilute the message that I want to pass. So you are looking for balance. Well, the only balance you can get from me is that today I can talk about your party. Tomorrow I can talk about the other party. So I think that is balance. But to expect that one cartoon should be able to look at everything at once, no. Sometimes those cartoons can say those things, but sometimes you just have to take a position, take a stand, which is what matters most. So it's not just being objective for the sake of being objective or trying to be politically correct because you're a cartoonist, you want to sit on the fence. No, you must take a position because it's an opinion, especially when you are giving your opinion on certain things. Because if you want to say, okay, I don't want to annoy government or I don't want to annoy students, like in the case of the ASU strike, where will actually take a position? So we can look at ASU. Well, I can do a cartoon that I'm talking to ASU and government at the same time, But so the other day I can just look at only ASU or government directly. So if you look at instead of just looking at the cartoon, in isolation, just look at them together as okay, where is the position of this cartoonist? You will know the position of this cartoonist. Yeah, thank you very much for that question in particular, because I think it's one question that some can active battle with in some newspapers, but not in business day. At business day, I have freedom, and that is even why I'm still at business day. It is that freedom. I can't remember a particular day that my cartoon has ever been stepped down. Yes, I could have input from my editor. Editor can say, okay, why don't you consider this? To say a particular cartoon is totally stepped down, because of it's too sensitive. Even cartoon with religious elements, I've never been stepped down. We can only advise. So I have freedom, and a whole lot of it. And at business day we don't have any sacred cow, no gray area, so that is actually why I've been here this long, because I can't imagine myself, having to seek maybe contribution from editors and publishers and all that before you're able to do. So I do my own. Of course, there is some editorial guidelines, to the news, to the kind of stories we carry in business day. So, for example, we can say, okay, what the business day stand on removal of fuel subsidy. So, of course, with that kind of understanding in mind, I know what I can do. So even when you want to go against it, there is a way, because it's a cartoon. There is also a way, depending on the point of view you want to represent, in the cartoon. So I have that freedom. Yeah, sometimes too, my editor can call up and say, oh, have you heard about this? So to let me know what we consider as cartoonable offenses. Okay, have you heard about this? Or you can just pass me a news report. Have you seen this? So it's not telling me to just go ahead and do that. It's just telling me, okay, consider this something that you cannot consider. I might decide to even ignore it. Okay, and if I also find something, if I find something that I feel is very, very relevant to what I want to do, or if I consider that topic is timely, as something I must deal with at the moment, so I could just take that up. But they're never giving me instruction and they say, okay, this is what you have to do tomorrow, this is what has to come out, and this is the position that you have to take. We don't do that at business day. Yeah, I think I don't know how to put it. I think I've stretched out my neck too far that I can't really retreat. So like they say, no retreat, no surrender. So apart from the fact that cartooning is what I actually put from my table, I love doing it because it's the society is becoming a lot of voices are being shut down. It is, either by threats, or by bribery, or a lot of ways, and so very few people are really speaking up right now, and I feel that we just have to keep doing what we're doing. We don't want to know whether people are listening, but what we know is that is people are reading, that people who are reading it religiously, people are listening to you. People are also we have had cases where we have a lot of feedback, even from government. We have feedback, good and bad also. People have called back to say, oh, what the cartoon is saying, I like it. Some have also called to say the cartoonist is crazy, and all that. So we always have this constant feedback, and so most time when I'm working, I'm not just working for myself. I'm not just saying okay because something I put food on my table. I just feel that this contribution is needed out there at the time when dissenting voices are being threatened, at the time when truth is becoming very rare in society, at the time where a lot of fabrications, a lot of we don't even know what to trust in terms of news information, distortion, disinformation everywhere, and so feel that there is need for even a cartoonist, that whose work is based on the truth, to just keep doing what is doing. So that is still why I'm still hanging out, knowing fully well that my work matters. Like they say, that journalism is history written in a hurry. I also feel that editorial cartooning is also history drawn in a hurry. And so there is this sense of amnesia that that you feel in society. People seem to forget a lot. People seem to move on to the next thing, move on to the next episode, move on to the next trending story. So much so that if you tell some people how much Gary was a cop as a prison, a lot of people want to be arguing with you, and so recording history like this graphically, is actually good for all of us. So you don't need too much research. Once it comes on your screen, you remember. So sometimes when I post my work cartoon, people will shouting, people will start talking about, oh, you must be a prophet. No, there's nothing prophetic about it. It's just that Nigeria, we're just moving in. It's not moving in the sea. It's just moving in a circle. Come back to this thing. This will always happen. Why it happened is because we seem to forget. So we have this. I would say up NEPA mentality. It's like we are in an area that no light for five days. Everybody is complaining, and NEPA brings light. You have light will restore for like 10 minutes. We are up NEPA, and then within 20 minutes, people say, this NEPA they try you. This people they try you. No, they forgot that they have not had light for 6 months. And because they have light for 2 hours now, NEPA become for them it's become zero. So they shut down. So that is Nigeria for you. So a politician will just come in, steal everything they have, take everything, and then just build one conference hall in the village. And then just because people are never seen conference hall, have now seen conference halls, and the opportunity to see government officials, and then they're ready to die for that politician. So that's the thing. So people forget easily. I don't know, our attention span is very, very short. And so this cartoon, because of their catchy nature, will always be there, mnemonic to keep reminding you, hey, look, this thing happened. This thing happened. Like when one of our former president died the other time, and then a lot of tribute food, and then you ask yourself, this is the same man, and then somebody went and started sharing my cartoons under Buhari. I think we're even asking, so a lot of time we seem to forget, just because we have that small period of comfort. We forgot that how it was, our journey to where we are right now. So we need to have something to, keep us really awakened, to realities. And cartoon is doing that well. It will be late Yaradua as dead is dead actually, because that's one thing that actually I felt a lot, and I think we are not even talking a lot about him. I think it's someone that even the crazy leaders how they talk about him because of what he represented. So it's one man I feel that, if I have to, if from the top of my head now, it's one guy that I feel that needs to be talked about, in a positive light. But we have a lot of negatives, so I would prefer to scare something positive, and that is Yaradua. I just want to be sure of what I do while I'm alive, and that is to inspire as many people as possible, not just into newspaper cartooning, but that people should realize, looking for themselves, realize that the artist part of them, because a lot of people don't seem to know that, that it's important that you realize, you find out your own talent, because for example, if I did not bother about this talent, I would not be where I am today. So a lot of people have talents they ignore, and I think that the ability to draw, creativity is a very, very important, a very lovely talent that a lot of us, are born with. But most people don't seem to give much of a thought. See, in the course of my work, I'm talented with a lot of young people, talented young people, because I like doing that. I like mentoring. I like being with a group of young people, inspiring them. And you see that a lot of them, because of family pressure, they just seem to leave that part of them, And it is not just that, okay, because you can draw, it means that you are going to become a professional artist. No, it doesn't. But at least if you can draw, then develop the ability to draw, because it might always come useful in whichever profession you find yourself. You discover that I was talking to a friend the other day at the trip, and he told me how art has helped him as a doctor. In fact, he's as an engineer. He said as an engineer, he's exceptional because of his ability to draw. Because he could look at things in the round. Could imagine art easily. You could imagine. In fact, he solved problems, engineering problems, a lot easier than his other colleagues. And I told him that because we already have the art in you. So a lot of people don't even bother about it. People just feel, you want to go and learn how to draw. What are you going to do with that? And then you see so many people, a lot of people are into fashion designing now who never studied fashion. Some of them maybe I've seen a lot of lawyers, engineers who are into fashion. And fashion, basically needs you to know how to draw. The ability to draw is a plus as a fashion designer. And so a lot of us leave that part of us, because we feel that artists are not, millionaires are not artists and all that. But there is no area now that you can think of that the ability to draw, will not come in useful. So that is what I want to be remembered for. That this is someone who stood by his craft, who made something out of it. Because as I was growing up, I knew a lot of people who could do better than me at that stage. I look at most of them now, they're nowhere to be found. But the fact that I stayed on this path and I'm on it, and everything we do today is from this, So I feel that if you have it in you, don't let it die. Don't just let it die. As much as possible, try to pull it out, and do something with it. Like I always advise people, just be like me, be yourself.